The room is quiet. The lights are off. Your body is heavy, sinking into the bed after a long day. Your eyes are barely open, your thoughts scattered, your strength almost gone. And in that moment, you hesitate. Should I pray like this? A strange guilt creeps in. A quiet voice whispers that this is not the right way. That maybe God expects more. That maybe you should get up, kneel, compose yourself, do it properly. So you stay silent, and just like that, a sacred moment slips away. I remember nights like that, nights when exhaustion felt stronger than discipline, when my body refused to move, but my soul still longed to speak. And I wondered, does God hear me like this? Or does he wait for something more formal? Because somewhere along the way, many of us were taught something subtle but powerful. That prayer must look a certain way, that it must follow a posture, a structure, a visible form, stand straight, kneel down, fold your hands, close your eyes. And if you do not, maybe it does not count. But then Scripture begins to tell a different story, a story that breaks those assumptions completely. Because the Bible is filled with moments that do not look perfect. Moments where prayer happens in weakness, in desperation, in stillness. Moments where the body is not strong, but the heart is real. And those are the moments God responds to the most. There is something deeply honest about praying while lying down. No performance, no audience, no effort to impress, just you and God. And maybe that is exactly the point, because prayer was never designed to be a performance. It was designed to be a connection. So tonight, we are going to step into a truth that will remove the guilt many people have carried for years. A truth that will change how you see your quietest moments. Because what happens when you pray lying down is not what people told you. It is something far more powerful. And by the end, you may realize something that shifts everything. God was never waiting for you to change your position. He was waiting for you to open your heart. Body Part 1, 400 words. Let us begin with something simple but often misunderstood. God does not measure your prayer by your posture. He measures it by your heart. Jesus himself warned about people who focused too much on appearance. In the book of Matthew, he spoke about those who prayed publicly just to be seen. They looked spiritual, but their hearts were distant. That alone should tell you something. God is not impressed by position. He is moved by sincerity. Now think about this. If posture was the key to prayer, then only certain people could truly reach God. Only those who are physically able. Only those who have the strength, the time, the perfect environment. But that is not how God works. He is not limited by your physical condition. He is drawn to your honesty. And this is where everything begins to shift. Because lying down is often the position where you are most real. No masks, no energy left to pretend, just truth. And that is exactly where prayer becomes powerful. Body Part 2, 400 words. Now consider the story of King Hezekiah, a man lying on his deathbed. No strength, no time, no second chance. The prophet told him clearly, prepare yourself. You are going to die. Imagine hearing that. Most people would panic. But Hezekiah did something simple. He turned his face to the wall, and he prayed. No ceremony. No kneeling, no standing, just a man lying in bed, speaking to God. And before the prophet could even leave, God responded. 15 more years. Let that sink in. A prayer made in weakness moved heaven instantly, and he was not the only one. King David wrote about remembering God on his bed, in the quiet hours of the night, not in public, not in a temple, but in stillness, alone. Because sometimes the deepest connection happens when everything else is silent. And then there is this powerful instruction. Search your heart on your bed. Be still. That is not human advice. God is not rejecting those moments. He is calling you into them. Body part 3, 400 words. Here is where it becomes personal. When do you usually pray lying down? When you are exhausted, when you are overwhelmed, when you have nothing left. And that is exactly why those prayers matter. Because in those moments, you are not trying to impress God. You are depending on Him. Scripture says the Spirit helps us in our weakness, not in our strength, in our weakness. That means the moment you feel least qualified to pray is often the moment heaven is listening closest. Think about that. Your tired voice, your half-formed words, your silent thoughts. They are not ignored, they are understood. God is not waiting for perfect sentences. He is responding to real connection. And this changes everything. Because now prayer is no longer something you schedule. It becomes something you live. While driving, while working, while resting, even at 3 in the morning when sleep will not come, you can reach God anywhere, in any position, at any moment. Because prayer was never about where your body is. It was always about where your heart is. Conclusion, 300 words. So the next time you find yourself lying in bed, too tired to move, too drained to speak perfectly, do not stay silent. Do not let guilt take that moment from you, because that moment may be more powerful than you realize. God heard Hezekiah on his deathbed. God heard David in the quiet of the night. God invites you to seek Him even while lying down. That means your weakest moments are not obstacles. They are opportunities. Opportunities to be real, to be honest, to be close. So release the guilt. Let go of the pressure to perform. And understand this clearly. God is not checking your posture. He is listening to your heart. And sometimes, the most powerful prayer you will ever pray is the one you whisper when you have nothing left to give. Because in that moment, you are not relying on your strength anymore. You are resting in His. And that is exactly where He meets you.